With the grand tour of Northern Aragon done, it is time for King Henri to look at the next steps in growing his realm. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Realm Builder Guy here and more CK3. Please excuse my voice. It's dealing a little bit with allergies, but nonetheless, we will get going here. So, obviously, last episode was all about a grand tour. We could still do a grand tournament at some point, but that's, I don't really think, befitting of King Henri at this point. My daughter Asin seemed to enjoy our latest feast immensely, afterwards she couldn't stop talking about the feelings that locking eyes with one of the younger servants had caused in her. Oh, young rascal is coming of age, isn't she? Notice how true value lies in the expensive trappings of power. I will show her how to make friends at a feast. Oh, you know, so is youth. Like mother, like daughter, I guess. Mother has the, obviously those traits. Let's take a closer look at the inventory right now. We still have a magnificent crown that we've never actually put on there. Yikes. Okay, let's take a look here. We've got an open trinket slot. Rough gemstone. We will add that. We've got a few here that are low in durability. So the Angevin scriptures. I'm going to put that on there. We need an antiquarian first. Mathieu the Headless. Gilbert, he's average. Tourict is average, a courtier. We'll appoint her to that. And now we will take a look at repairing or reforging some of these. It'll cost 63 to repair. So we'll do that. Just may as well bump these back up while we're at it. Regalia here. So this is a masterwork. So the Anjou Regalia gives a bump to fertility, piety, prestige, and dynasty opinion. This one here is no fertility. Piety is the same. Prestige is the same. Renown goes up. And seduce scheme power goes up. So I don't think we need to really... We'll do excellent regalia. I'm not going to worry about the... I mean, the fertility bump is nice. Dynasty opinion is nice. So yeah, we're gonna repair that. We've got the money, so there's no issue there. Armor-wise, burnished mail. Yeah, let's just spend the money on that, and then we just don't have to worry about these things. We still have a Castilian spear. In the Angevin mace. The Angevin mace is just much more powerful. So I'm not worried about the Castilian spear. Anything else in here? No, we are good. So we've taken care of that. We've got something here at the court to take care of. A gallant knight by Marshal Giraud has excelled during our recent battles, and my court is buzzing with excitement. What an accomplished knight. What a role model. What a man. With all the praise raining down on him, it is made clear that I am expected to officially reward him in some manner. And I will speak well of him. No. He is the new lord of the county of Zaragoza. Now, this is interesting. Do we move him to the county of Zaragoza? Obviously, that is currently one of our holdings. He'll be gifted gold for his achievements. So 170 gold. He will serve as my personal champion. What is his prowess? Is pretty good. I think as a personal champion, yes. Yes, that's a good one. Court grandeur-wise, I think we're okay here. We're still an intrigue court or a warlike court. I mean, those are the two we could go with. And this is down to bellicose ethos. We're going to keep it at intrigue with him. Language-wise, yeah, I think our court language is Iberian Vulgar. We can see right now how it has infiltrated France quite a lot. So I think we'll keep it as is right now. Gives us the most benefit right now overall. So we'll keep that as is. Court artifacts. We've got some things we can put on here. Count Guillaume's dagger. So that bumps up prestige and court grandeur. The Anjou goblet. And that gives us a higher grandeur bonus, but lower prestige. King Joffrey's sword. This is or Geoffroy's sword. Prestige goes up. Stress gain goes down. Dread goes up. Number of knights. Powerful vassals. Yes. We will display that. We can put something on here. We will put the Anjou goblet on display here. And then here, Count Guillaume's dagger on display. Other than that, we've got all of the slots filled currently. So that's good. And yeah, I mean, we could hold court after the Grand Tour, but I think we're going to hold off on that for right now. So let's take a look at the wars we can currently call. I mean, there are quite a few here. We could go to war with Navarra. We need to look at there. There's a war going on right there. And of course, Aquitaine and Brittany. Who's Navarra at war with? So, a Liberty War and Galicia's claim on the Kingdom of Navarra. Galicians. Do we want them to get a little something in here? I don't know about that. So he's got a claim on all of Navarra. I mean, we could bump in there as well and try to usurp that. Potentially, but I don't know if I necessarily want to do that. Instead, we're going to take a look here at Aquitaine. So the war we could claim here. So we could go after the Duchy of Armagnac, the County of Touraine, finally, or the County of Auvergne. The Duchy of Armagnac would be a much, much bigger holding, but this really just bugs me having that sit right there. Allies-wise, what does he have here? Champagne and the King of Italy. So fairly sizable allies there. So Aquitaine may not be the best target right now. Brittany, on the other hand. What do we have here? So we can do an artifact claim war, but I'm not interested in that. Here we can go for Bellac or La Marche. And then Prince Geoffroy. His claim for the entire duchy of Brittany. I don't mind that at all. That wouldn't be a bad one. What does he have for allies? King Fulk of Tahert. So 12,000 against our 43,000. We could go after Brittany, which would then, I believe, become our vassal. So, I mean, it would basically become a duchy. It would not become a kingdom. And if we would go for that, we could bring all of Brittany into the fold. Then eventually, I'd really want Touraine. It bothers me to no end. The Duchy of Berry. Okay, well, that one's got to go. That Duchy of Berry can't declare a war. But what we are going to do here is we're going to go to council. We're going to fabricate a claim on Blois to take that in the next step. But going to war with Brittany, I think, would be a very good move, because then we can just go straight into here and go to war with them and save Aquitaine for later as we grow more in power and expand the holdings of Aragon. Then we can go for Armagnac. In the next step. We also have a few other ones here. Provence. He's got a few allies. We can declare a war here for the claims of the entire Duchy of Provence. That would be another one. Viennois, we can declare a war here for Duke Thierry's claims, which is really not much there. The Burgundians, I'm not worried here because there are a ton of children. So we've got Prince Engelbert, who's next in line to be king, and then he has a lot of daughters, but an eldest son, Henri Plantagenet, another Henri, who would then be heir to Aragon and Burgundy. So I actually don't mind that at all. So in a sense, I believe the best bet would be to go after Brittany at this point. We can also ask our head of faith for gold, spending 250 piety. What's his opinion? He's plus 55, loses 20 opinion. We're going to ask for the money because we're going to go to war here soon with Brittany. And as such, it would be good to have a little bit extra cash. A scheme at court. My spymaster has come to me with grave news. While we do not know yet, someone is playing against Marshal Giraud. Giraud. Oh, I don't like that. And there we have the extra funds from the papacy. And yeah, I think now it is the time to declare war on Brittany. We're going to move, as always, move our rally point closer to our objective. We're going to go in here on the north side into Nantes and go after Nantes. Go straight in here into Vannes itself. So we are going to go to war. We're going to declare a war for Prince Geoffroy's claims. And we cannot declare a war without using a hook on my leash due to the realm's laws. I didn't see that before, so we can't do that. Don't like that at all. Can we change? We can't, and we do not have a hook on him. So unfortunately, we can't declare any wars right now. We go to Aquitaine, declare a war for our claims. We can't do that either. So we are currently stuck with not being able to have an internal war, and that's frustrating. We were just going to do it, and then I just saw that we can't do it because we don't have that in our vassal contract. That really bothers me. Do you have a new diplomacy lifestyle perk we can pick? We got to go flexible truces. Shorter truces and no prestige penalty for breaking them. That I do like, but it doesn't help us right now internally at all. We could see here the Mongol Empire is dealing with some rebellions. Let's see, they've got defending against a populist uprising, a Czech Catholic uprising. So that looks like it is there all over the place. But they have a much smaller army, but the war score is currently in their favor. Defending against Kashan Duchy Dissolution War and attacking Ruthenia. So they are looking to invade Ruthenia and take more of those lands. But this could be an interesting endeavor. But it has become clear that your Archbishop is working to establish a false, spurious claim on the county of Blois. I do not think that this kind of dishonorable action go without a response. Yeah, whatever. I don't even care. So, unfortunately, really, if we're going to go to war right now, well, there are only external ones. So we can declare a war, forced vassalization of the Duke. So we could declare war here. He currently has no major allies, but we could force Lombardy to become a vassal of Aragon and then bring them into the Frankian Empire that way. That could be one. Or we go after Navarra. And Navarra is losing to Galicia. Let's take a look at Galicians real quick. They have decent alliances. I mean, externally, not much. But if we declare war on Navarra and try to take it, that could be... It could be messy if we move in there. So I don't really know. The Order of Alcantara has been established. Okay. So we're a little bit stuck right now when it comes to expansion. We're a little slow here on Navarra. And really, externally, there isn't much. It's funny how Poland has expanded here. We do have... I mean, we can declare war on the Mongols. We have a number of claims. We have a claim here for the Duchy of Tyrol, as well as smaller things there. Prince Geoffroy has the same claims. So that could be one, but not necessarily a smart move, per se. So yeah, we're a little stuck. Who is this up here? Kingdom of Lotharingia. Declare war here for the county of Boulogne, but that doesn't really give us much. Of course, we can move externally and take a closer look at England. So let's do that real quick. Keep an eye on the Mongols here. If they start to shatter, that could be an interesting one. Oh, and North Africa. Some changes here. Sicily is still sitting there. Tahert has lost some major territory here to Felite. And the Maghreb is dealing with a war, an internal war as well. So they're a little weakened. And then, of course, Al-Andalus is sitting right there, and that could be an interesting one. Now, of course, we do not have a Casaspelli, but... another one that could be of interest. Off to play. My daughter Arsine, along with Bohemond, has been invited to gathering by peers by Prince Rourg. Prince Rourg of Francia, Duchy of Berry. No, I think not. Because, yeah, we're trying to get a claim on his duchy. Synergize our friendship. Enhance stewardship. Gains 10 opinion. So we get a +3 in stewardship. Stress gain goes up. Enhanced stewardship. Okay, we'll accept that. So we're just becoming closer and closer with the Castilians, which is good because it gives us a bit of safety here in Iberia. And eventually we could turn our sights on Galicia itself, especially if they take Navarra. So what I might end up doing is just waiting here. I mean, Navarra is going to lose, and then Galicia is going to have a foothold there. The Galicians themselves have some decent alliances, but they look like they're all internal. We'll take a look. We'll take a look when that war is done. And then, because if we can call in the Castilians in a war against Galicia to take Navarra and maybe more... that may not be bad. So there, Galicia has expanded now. Take a look here. We can declare a war for our claims for the Duchy of Navarra. And he's got a Kingdom of Navarra claim. But we want the whole duchy. They've got 16,000. We have 41,000. And the major allies, of course, Burgundy, the Piedmont, and of course, King Lorenzo of Castile. I mean, just with the Castilians alone, we should be able to win that war and grab it. You know, retrospectively, we should have just gone for it when it was still an independent Navarra. That would have been an easier war than, you know, taking on Galicia. I'm kind of, as you could probably tell, I'm itching for some conflict here. I'm going to actually move this one back. here, because there's no point. We're not going to have an internal war for Francia. I wonder if we would, however, where do things stack if we were to go with an independence war? Now, we've got claims down here. An independence war. They have 36,000. Now, of course, they would bring in Norway. Now, Burgundy would not help. The Piedmont would not help, because those are internal. Those are vassals. But Castile would come into that war. And we have similar strength. I think what we would need to do before we try to gain independence from Francia is we need more allies. So our youngest children are currently without a spouse. So we're going to see who we can find here as far as a good ally. She's 14. This would actually give us a Duchy of Aquitaine. Ha! Not interested in that. Let's look at alliance power. Francia. Hungary, they're external, but the problem is I'm a little worried about them simply because of the Mongols. Poland would be one. Getting an alliance with the Kingdom of Poland wouldn't be bad. We do have Prince Edward of Italy. So, but I mean, that would be an internal alliance. That would not help us against the Frankians. Poland would be interesting to me, to be honest. The problem with Poland is they're really, really far away. Gaining an alliance with England would be more interesting. So let's take a look at England itself real quick. I have Proud. Okay, we have now our claim on Blois. So does he have any children that are as of yet not betrothed? No, he does have Princess Alda, who is rowdy at 4. Can we arrange a marriage here? Our son. And they would accept that. They would accept it. Now, she has no claims. And what this basically would get us is an alliance with the English. Now, he's 65. What about his heir, Prince Henry of England? He has a 1-year-old son. Can we somehow arrange a marriage with him, with our daughter? Or our granddaughter? Would that get us anything? No. Not really. So that would give us that alliance, but nothing really of interest. We gotta keep looking here. Queen Estefania approaches me with a friendly smile. My love, have you seen how majestic our Ascend is becoming? She could practically rule this nation with one hand tied behind her back. And I swear by the Lord that she would make you very proud. She gives me a side glance. Of course, if there's anything I could do in order to make the idea more enticing, I'm sure you would let me know. Anything, she says. Bring me the reprehensible Bashir. I said no. I'm interested in more useful courtiers. I don't need anything from you, Estefania. More useful courtiers. Persona grata. Estefania catches up with me once more. Liege, I come bearing news. She hurries to my side, unveiling a soft sheet with a collection of scribbles while doing so. These fine people would be most pleased to come work for you here at our court. I glance at the sheet. There's some impressive set of skills. I'll give her that. So it looks like we can vassalize someone. Loyalty or fear. When they're, I mean, this is back. We've had this a few times. Fear is far more effective tool. I have more important things to do. I'll try to impress the king itself. Hail the emperor. Estefania looks up as I enter the kitchen and tilts her head. I am sorry that none of the candidates were to your liking, liege. Hope you can still appreciate the work I put into gathering the finest individuals Anjou with surroundings has to offer. You have earned this, Queen Estefania. No, your capacity to scheme concerns me, my dear. Look, we both know this isn't right. So, we can vassalize him. Low feudal obligations. So, he would become our vassal in Boulogne. That would be a nice one. Low feudal obligations or high ones. So lower taxes, low levy contribution. We're going to offer that vassalage to him and see what happens. Greetings, my benevolent liege. I accept your gracious offer of vassalization. Excellent. So now we've expanded our territory to the north without needing a war and just gaining a vassal. So what we're going to do now, we're going to send our spy master to Ile-de-France and find secrets. See if we can find something on the Emperor to gain a hook so we can modify our contract and start declaring wars and go after Aquitaine, Provence, and Brittany. Because we could, I mean, the expansion we could get through that is quite substantial. So we have a betrothal proposal. Arsinde herself, she is ill right now. That's not good. To the charming Henri, with your permission, I would like to betroth your daughter, the charming Arsinde. Betroth her directly. Children born of this marriages will be Gonzalez dynasty Jimena. They are related, and there's a risk of being inbred. This could be interesting, because I don't really care about Navarra too much. But this could be an interesting one when we're looking at potentially breaking free from Francia. What it would do is also it would strengthen our ties in Iberia. We wouldn't really have to worry about a war with either Castile or Galicia in that sense. And if they fight each other, you know, we can just claim neutrality in it and not be involved in any Iberian conflicts. That would give us another 13,000 in an alliance to go to war with Francia for that independence. It's not necessarily a bad idea. And we could also gain an alliance with England if we betroth our son to the English king. And with that, we would definitely have the power to become independent of Francia. This is the big question. She's ill right now. Bad humors plague her. And the severity we're not sure of right now. Yes, you know what? We'll accept this right now. And we have that alliance, even if it's just temporarily. I'm not overly concerned with that right now. I mean, we're not in a position to really declare a war for independence. Oh, we can negotiate an alliance with Duke Conrad of Upper Lorraine. We will do that. Count Hugh of Alençon. Sure, we'll do that. Duchess Sarah, not so much. But there, we've got another external alliance. And now things have become a little more interesting. I've arrived in Alger to pay homage as Count of Boulogne. Show him in at once. He kneels, deference, etc., etc. We know the deal. And our court grandeur now is at 9. Now let's take a look at an independence war. Now we would have the strength to do it. For sure. We have the external allies that we could take him on. Now, of course, the internal allies won't help, but we've got Galicia, Castile, and even some Mongols, Duke Conrad of Upper Lorraine, to invade from here. They can invade down south, and we can strike right at the heart of it. Our house guard itself, we can bring up 10,000. He can bring up 23,000. His major ally, aside from internally, is, of course, Norway. The negotiator. During my afternoon stroll down the streets of Anjou, my daughter Arsène runs up to me. Father, they just started swinging at one another. She's interrupted by a high-pitched shriek, turning our attention to the fight down the street. The combatants appear to be a couple of pages from my court, circling each other. Break it up, both of you. So we have a faction created, an independence faction, King Nicholas. That is interesting. Let's take a look here then against our liege. So there's this one that's kind of milling about. Independence faction wants independence from their liege. He's got a good amount of power. He's too weak to send an ultimatum. We could join the Kingdom of Italy in gaining independence. I don't mind that. Here, lower crown authority. That's not bad. So if we lose that, so that couldn't, I mean, that would be a lower one. Or we could just go, this guy wants to be the king of France, wants to be the head, wants the French throne. Joining an independence faction might not be bad, because then we know the Italians will join. We can call in our allies. Then things become way more difficult for the Frankians. And we could become an independent kingdom, wage war, and start gobbling up more and more French holdings that way. It's worth thinking about. I'd be curious to know what my council, of course, you guys, the viewers, think about this one as we scheme for the future. I don't hate it. I really don't hate this at all. My Chancellor, Duchess Caesarea, has proven herself highly capable, especially in matters of diplomatic nature. There are some projects I would like to undertake in the county of Barcelona, my liege, with your blessing. Take the reins. I encourage improvements for 5 years. Sure. So I will put it to you, listeners, viewers, what you think we should look at doing here. Do we go on our own and just go straight for independence? Or do we join the Kingdom of Italy in that independence faction and maybe persuade Brittany or Aquitaine to join? I would be interested to know your thoughts on that. While performing her duties as my spy master, Marguerite has uncovered a secret held by Count Adrien of Vermandois. The ways in which he seeks pleasure is revolting, unnatural, and sickening. So he is a capet, but he is not an heir. So we'll keep that secret to ourselves. I mean, right now, I'll be honest, what I would prefer is to find a secret on the Emperor himself, gain a hook, modify our vassal contract, and go for internal wars first. Gobble up Brittany, Armagnac, which clearly weakens Aquitaine massively, and then declare independence. And go after it, and then maybe join that independence faction with Italy to then weaken the Emperor even further. But I'd like to know your thoughts. Please let me know down in the comments below. And that's where we will end today's episode, where it was really more about strategy and thinking about the future. We did gain a little bit of territory through vassalage. We could look at an external war and grab Lombardy in a forced vassallation war, which could be interesting, but they're very far away, and that's not really a major interest. Interest here is Western France, clearly, Brittany and Aquitaine, and gathering as much as possible from them. But other than that, I'm not... Northern Italy isn't a major concern of mine. But let me know your thoughts down below. As always, likes and comments and subscriptions are greatly appreciated. Until next time, I'm Rambler Guy, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.